Women who got issues with men.
They started this shit.
Ayesha Curry type.
Oh, he's silly.
We just keeping it real. Did y'all see that shit?
I don't know.
Recent Drake concert?
No.
Weird, but like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not
Like,
looking. You're not even. But I'm gonna tell you something else too.
So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it.
Steph Curry is really, really angry. And honestly, it's hard to blame him for feeling that way. This whole situation started because a comedian named Corey Holcomb went on his podcast and started saying terrible things about Steph's wife, Ayesha Curry. He was insulting her in a way he never has before. To make things even worse, there is now a private video that people are talking about. This video is supposedly going around, and it allegedly shows Ayesha Curry acting a little too friendly with one of Steph's own teammates. This apparently happened after they all went to a Drake concert. The stuff Corey said on his podcast was really bad. He basically said out loud the kinds of rumors that people have been quietly talking about for years. Corey also claimed that at that Drake concert, Ayesha got upset because the famous singer Drake wasn't paying enough attention to her. He made it sound like she couldn't handle being in the background while her husband, Steph, was the one in the spotlight. And apparently, this isn't just a one-time thing. Corey was saying that this is a pattern of behavior for Ayesha. He talked about her having a constant need for validation and attention, and that this is the same kind of energy she has been putting out for years. He pointed out that this is happening even though she already has a famous husband, a lot of money, and a family that loves her. So, if what Corey Holcomb is saying is actually true, this might be a big warning sign that Steph Curry has been ignoring for a very long time. And now, all of this drama is exploding right in front of him. When this new alleged video started getting passed around, it made a lot of people remember something that happened a long time ago. Back when that original video from the Drake concert first went viral and everyone was making jokes about it, the same comedian, Corey Holcomb, had already commented on it. Back then, he said what a lot of people were too afraid to say out loud. He said that Ayesha seemed like she was uncomfortable with letting her husband have all the spotlight. He said that she seemed to crave attention so badly that it was like she couldn't breathe without it.
I always got some good family up here with me when it's, you know it's about to be uncomfortable.
Now, when the comedian first said these things, everyone came after him for it. People said he was just trying to start drama and that he was being disrespectful. Some people even said he was just jealous of Steph and Ayesha's marriage and their happy life. But now that this new private video has supposedly leaked, people are looking back and thinking differently. They are starting to realize that he might have been right all along. He might have been able to see this coming from the very beginning. When he talked about that moment at the concert back then, he described it in a lot of detail. He said that Ayesha supposedly looked annoyed and irritated when the famous singer, Drake, came up and said hello to Steph, but didn't give her the same kind of special attention. The comedian claimed that she wanted that recognition and validation so much that she got upset. He said that later, when Drake realized she was mad and tried to fix it by calling her a beautiful queen, it was already too late to make her feel better. The moment had already been ruined for her.
Woman was so mad that Drake was speaking to her husband and not giving her all the credit. Look up the video.
I'm gonna have to watch
She
it.
probably thought Drake was flirting with her husband.
When Drake saw how upset she was, he said, and his beautiful queen, whatever, he tried to give her, but no, that wasn't good enough.
It was too late.
And if the things people are saying are true, and her behavior after the concert really did cross a line, then maybe that comedian's whole angry speech wasn't just meaningless trash talk. Maybe it was actually a warning about a real problem, a warning that nobody wanted to listen to at the time. And that's the really important thing to think about. When you look back at everything now, this new drama didn't just come out of nowhere. It seems like the signs that something was wrong have been there for years, just sitting in the background. Even before this whole big situation exploded with the video and the podcast, Ayesha had already made it pretty clear in the past that she always wanted to be noticed and recognized for who she is. In one old interview, she actually admitted that she never really saw herself getting married or having children when she was younger. She said that she had always pictured herself as a career woman, focusing on her own job and her own life. She explained that after she met Steph, everything in her life just happened very, very fast.
So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl,
And maybe that feeling is where everything started to change for her. Because from that point on, when she suddenly became Steph Curry's wife, it seems like she has been constantly trying to prove something. It's like she has been on a mission to show the world that she is her own person and that she is more than just someone famous's wife. Then, you have to add in that one moment that a lot of people remember. She went on the talk show Red Table Talk and said something that really surprised everyone. She admitted out loud that she missed getting attention from men. She literally said the words, "It sounds weird, but I like male attention." Even the host of the show, Sonia, was concerned and told her right there on camera that thinking that way could lead her down a dangerous and risky path. That one sentence, she said, really stuck with people. It made a big impression because it felt like that one line explained everything people needed to know about what might have been really going on with her underneath the surface. It seemed to confirm the feelings that people were already getting from her.
Weird, but like male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not
Like,
looking. You're not even. But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too. Like, and I was young, like you.
Yeah,
like
that's
oh my
not
God.
fair.
I mean,
because I don't want it, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to know that like someone's looking.
but
That
when
could
your
get
radar's
dangerous.
turned off, right?
And the craziest part of all this is what has happened since she said that. Every few years since that interview, Ayesha has done something that makes her old quote seem different. It starts to look less like she was just sharing too much personal information and more like she was actually confessing to a real feeling she has. For example, do you remember that one time she was on the talk show The Real? A shirtless waiter walked out on the stage, and as a reaction, Ayesha pretended to take off her wedding ring. It was meant to be a funny joke for the show, but the problem was that nobody was really laughing. It didn't come across as funny to a lot of people who were watching. After that happened on TV, a lot of NBA fans were really angry about it. They were saying things online like, "It's like she really wants to act single and get attention from other men, but she also doesn't want to lose all the benefits and respect that come with being a famous athlete's wife." And honestly, what they were saying kind of made sense. Because when your husband is one of the most famous and respected players in all of sports, and you are on national television pretending to take off your wedding ring, it just makes everyone look bad. And her behavior didn't stop with that one TV moment. There was also that time she posted a tweet during the NBA Finals. This was right after Steph's team lost a very important game. She accused the entire NBA league of being fixed and unfair. By doing that, she literally risked hurting her husband's reputation right in the middle of the most important part of the season, all because she couldn't control her feelings online. Just imagine your husband is in the middle of fighting to win another championship, and you are out there on Twitter making serious accusations against the whole league. That kind of action doesn't show that you are a loyal and supportive partner. It just creates a lot of drama and chaos for everyone.
Piece, Mrs. Curry tweeted intimating that the league is fixed and they wanted this Game 7. That'll be part of the news. Steph is going to be on the off days, big part of this news, throwing the mouthpiece, hitting the fan.
And that seems to be the main problem with Ayesha. Every single time she ends up in the public spotlight, something happens that causes a problem, and then Steph is the one who has to deal with the aftermath and clean up the mess. It seems like no matter how much Steph tries to keep his personal life quiet and private, Ayesha always finds a way to get their names in the news, and never for a good reason. When you look at everything together, from her old interviews, to her tweets, to these new rumors, it all starts to look like it is connected. It's like that saying, when someone keeps showing you who they really are, at some point you have to start believing them. Now this is where the story starts to feel a little too close for comfort, and I mean that literally. Because according to the rumors being whispered online, on that same night after the Drake concert, Ayesha was supposedly seen backstage. But she wasn't with Steph. She was allegedly talking alone with one of his own teammates. And the people who say they saw it claim that their body language was questionable. They were acting too relaxed and too familiar with each other, like someone who had forgotten where the line should be drawn. Of course, no one is saying which teammate it was yet, but the way people are describing the scene matches a little too perfectly with what that old podcast rant had warned everyone about. He had talked about a certain NBA wife getting a little too cozy with the wrong person. When you stop and think about it, this is why the rumor exploded so quickly. The idea that she would be in a private moment with someone from Steph's own team, someone in his inner circle, isn't just messy drama. It feels like a betrayal that happened right on his home court. Now, it is very important to be clear that nothing has been proven. All of this is just speculation and guessing for now. But even the possibility that it could be true has people looking at her differently because we have seen this kind of behavior from her before. Ayesha has a history of lingering in the background when the guys are celebrating after a game. She is often seen laughing a little too hard at their jokes and standing a little too close to them when the television cameras are rolling. And when you add that behavior on top of the things she has publicly admitted, like her need for male attention, her personal insecurities, and her constant search for validation, it's not very hard to understand why so many people find this new rumor believable. And honestly, this wouldn't even be the first time people have called her out for trying to get attention. Just recently, in March of 2025, Ayesha went viral on the internet after she posted a bunch of bikini pictures from her birthday vacation. She was celebrating her 36th birthday, posing on a fancy yacht with her friends while wearing a gray leopard print swimsuit. At first, the photos seemed fun and harmless, but she got a lot of negative feedback very fast. People were quick to remind her that she had once made fun of other women for showing off too much of their bodies online. One person even commented, "Wait, wasn't she the one judging other women for posting these exact kinds of pictures?" That's when everyone started connecting the dots all over again. She has even mentioned in interviews that she has been going to therapy for years. She said she was trying to find balance in her life and learn how to focus on herself. But if you look at everything now, maybe that therapy isn't just about simple self-care. Maybe it's about trying really hard to hold things together in a life that has already started to crack under the pressure.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. What I realized is, like, if you lose, like, for me being married and, like, with my husband, if you lose all of those things that were interesting about.
And honestly, that tells you a lot. Because if you take a step back and look at how Steph has been acting lately, it feels like he is someone who is trying very hard to keep a perfect image alive for the public, not necessarily to save a real marriage. He has always been a very patient person, defending Ayesha after every single time she went viral for something bad. He even recently argued with the famous rapper Killer Mike online after Killer Mike said that Ayesha was embarrassing. For many years, Steph has played the part of the loyal husband perfectly. He is always smiling during their awkward interviews and pretending like nothing ever bothers him. But people who claim to know them are saying that this time feels different. Because if Corey Holcomb really does have a video that shows Ayesha with another player, that isn't just drama, that is straight up betrayal. But here is the interesting part. Just a few days after this big rumor started getting popular online, Steph posted a new photo of himself with Ayesha and their kids. In the picture, everyone is smiling and they all look very loving, perfect just like always. But if you look at it closely, it feels more like a public relations move than a real family moment. It seems like he is trying to control the damage from the rumors by pretending everything is perfectly happy at home. Right now, the fans are split into two groups. Some people say that Ayesha is just misunderstood. They say she has been honest about her personal insecurities, and that other people are just twisting her words to make her look bad. But other people think that Corey Holcomb exposed the real reason why Steph always seems so careful and nervous in public, like he is walking on eggshells. Because if there is any truth to this story about a private video, and if Ayesha really did cross a line with one of Steph's teammates, that would explain why Steph has been so quiet lately. It would also explain the change in how they act when they are seen together in public. And maybe, just maybe, Corey Holcomb didn't leak that video clip just to start drama and be messy. Maybe he was actually trying to warn his friend Steph about a big problem before things got even worse.